Okay, hopefully the GoPro won't turn off on me this time. Anyways, welcome to another vlog. And today we're going to be searching for the Loch Ness Monster from South Park. And as you can see, I got 350. So I'll be using that to lure the Loch Ness Monster out. Hopefully that'll work, or it won't. Either way, the quest is started. So we'll be heading down towards the ocean today. And here we go. Well, here we sit at the light, actually. That's typical. Okay, they're going, and mine must be green then. That's what I'm going with. So, do have a few topics to discuss today. Whether or not we get to them or I remember them, it will be something to see. But I think we'll start off with Linux. Now, I am a fan of Linux. I love my Steam Deck. It's, of course, has SteamOS, which is Linux. And it's been great. I'm also very glad I bought my Steam Deck before the price hike, because holy fuck, that went up a lot. But anyway, that's another story. But anyways, because of the Steam Deck and seeing how good SteamOS was, I tried Bazite OS in December of 2025. And I ran that for about 2 months straight. I didn't go on my Windows drive at all. Because I wanted to get the full experience, see what I could do. And I did run into some issues. Mostly because my desktop PC has NVIDIA and it's got an Intel processor. And I mean, it's a good PC for Windows, but for Bazite, not so much. But I tried to stay with it. It's just, there was too many issues. I would have like random graphics issues where it'd be fine one day and then the next day it would look all shitty, or they'd do an update and Steam would stop working. And then, I couldn't get the lights on my computer to change because they use the Vantage, because it's a Lenovo PC. And there was no equivalent on Bazite that worked. The only one that even remotely did anything, there was a LGB lighting or whatever it was called that someone recommended, but all that did was fuck up my keyboard. It messed those lights up. And my desktop lights never changed at all. I had to log into Windows to change them. And then there was Oblivion Creation Kit, which I like to use to make mods. And I could not for the life of me get that to work on Bazite. It would act like it was going to install, and then I don't know where the fuck it put it, but I could never get it to open or even find it once I installed it, so then I'd uninstall it from the source and start over. It was just a nightmare. So eventually I just gave up on that and then realized, okay, I'm going to have to go to Windows when I want to make mods. So again, had to go back to Windows. So yeah, like, mostly I played DC and stuff. So like, Steam games, for the most part, would work fine. Until they didn't. Like, with NVIDIA, it just seemed like there would be random issues that would just pop up. Like, you're yelling in your game, it'll be fine, and then a couple days later, it's not fine. And the desktop always would look like washed out. That said, there was a lot of things I liked about Bazite. Like, it was snappy, it was quick, there was no bloatware or nothing, so it was really nice for that. And I really liked it, which is why I stuck with it for as long as I did. But I ended up having to go back to the Windows, which, it's fine. I mean, you just disable Copilot in the startup menu, and for the most part, you're good. And I also disable OneDrive because I don't like to use that. But not a big deal. So as long as I'm running this PC with my current hardware setup, I'm going to have to stay on Windows. But down the road, I may look into, like when it comes time to upgrade, which eventually will happen, I'll probably go to an AMD card. And then I'll try another Linux distro, maybe Mint or something, I don't know, maybe CashOS. I've heard good things about both of those. Bazite I liked, but I don't know that I would go back to that. Like, it was great for gaming. I loved it. Like, shit just worked. Like, I could plug my PlayStation 3 controller into there and it would just work. So that was nice. But currently I'm using an Xbox controller anyway, so Windows is fine for that. But yeah, so as far as Linux goes, I think if you got NVIDIA, just stay on Windows. Save yourself the headache. If you got AMD though, because I will say, like, my Steam Deck, no issues at all. Because, you know, it's a Steam Deck, it's AMD, it's made for Linux. So, running the Steam Deck, I know Linux can be good because I've seen it. And I'm quite sure that when, you know, Windows 12 or whatever comes out, by that point I might need a new PC or an upgrade, in which case then I'll probably just get something AMD so I can go to Linux. I'm sure by then it'll be better. You know, people said, like, the old Bazite's supposed to work so good with Linux, but it really doesn't. I mean, with NVIDIA, with Linux, of course, it is Linux. Duh. But one of the main reasons I actually went with Bazite OS is because it was supposed to just work with NVIDIA, and it really just doesn't work with NVIDIA. It works sometimes. And I know there's people out there that are, oh, work great for me, I had no problems. Well, guess what? I'm not you. I had problems. And I'm not the only one. I've seen the forums and Reddits and whatnot. And lots of people have got issues with NVIDIA and Linux. And that's not even Linux's fault. That's NVIDIA's fault. But at the time that I bought my PC, I was really just looking to get something that would play Oblivion Remastered well. Because that game had just come out, and I was like, you know, it's time to upgrade my PC. So I searched around, and the one I found, which had NVIDIA, ended up being what I went with. And at that time, I didn't know nothing about Linux back then. So had I known that I would maybe want to go to Linux in the future, I would have absolutely bought an AMD setup. But, you know, at the time, just didn't know. So here we are, and I've done the Linux experiment for now, and then now I'm back on Windows. But I don't hate Linux, and I do plan to return to it in the future. It's just at the moment, it's not for me. So that's probably all I got to really say about Linux. I mean, you know, and props to Valve for making gaming happen on it. I would add that. Since we're talking Valve, I might as well talk about a little more about that Steam like Deck's prices. Like, holy shit. Like, I'm in Canada, so I got the Steam OLED 512 like 2025, like early on, I think it was like January or February, something like that. And when I got it, it was only like $700. And I think after shipping and everything, it was like just under 800 or just over 800, so decent. Now, that same 512 OLED one I got is $11.50 Canadian, and that's before tax and shipping, so it's literally almost doubled in price. Which is insane. So, if you were, like, back in 2025, I would have said absolutely get a Steam Deck. But now, I wouldn't recommend it. There's other alternatives out there that are just as good, and you can just put Linux on them. There's ones that are more powerful too. And at this point, those more powerful ones are like the same price as an OLED, so it's not really worth it anymore. It was in 2025, it's not now. And the kicker is SteamOS will work on a lot of these other handhelds. And there's some that are like $700-800, like Canadian. So good prices. I mean, I already have my Steam Deck, so for me, I'm not really affected. I'm fine with it. I take it to work with me every night. It's a great device. I don't really have anything bad to say about it, but if you don't have a Steam Deck now, I would not get it. I would wait for them to change the pricing back or lower it, or just get an alternative, or get an Ally X or something, or an MSI, or one of those other ones that are like $700-800, or even $1,000. Like, 'cause for the same money you're paying for that Steam Deck, like $1,200, you can get an Ally X, which is way more powerful. And then just throw Bazite OS on it, or throw SteamOS on it, and you basically got a more powerful Steam Deck for the same money as you would get buying the current Steam Deck prices. So I would absolutely tell you, don't buy a Steam Deck now. It does make me wonder what the price of that Steam machine is going to be. Like, before all the RAM-pocalypse and AI data centers caused everything to go up, like, I would have guessed that Steam machine would have been, you know, $700-800 Canadian. Now it's probably going to be $2,000 or something stupid like that, and it's not worth it for the power it is. I mean, there's better PCs you can get. You know, get a halfway decent desktop PC. Just make sure it's AMD, and then you can throw Linux on it, and you'll get the same kind of perks as you would with a Steam machine. Except you'll have, again, a more powerful system that'll run games better. So, up here, we're in a Esquimalt now. But yeah, I don't know what the hell Valve was thinking there. Or maybe it's just a cost thing for them. So get some more power and get past this slowpoke. There we go. It's the only time I really will use the higher speed gears on the bike, because I want the range, right? But sometimes you gotta just pump up the speed and get by people that just want to go too slow. But that's my Linux discussion anyway, and Valve discussion. I mean, overall, I still think there's a yellow punch buggy if you're playing that game. But overall, I think Valve's a great company. Like, their game, like sales and shit on Steam are awesome. Hopefully they stay that way, because these days it seems like the shitification of everything is fucking happening. Like, just one fucking crap thing after another. It all seems to be tied to AI data centers, which is actually another topic I want to get into. Is this fucking AI shit. I mean, yes, there are some benefits to it, but overall, it seems to just be mostly negative. You got scammers are using it like out the wazoo to fucking steal people's money. So it's being used more for evil than anything good. Creators are fucking losing out to AI. You know, there's so much AI slop on YouTube now. You try to find real people, it's almost a challenge. Because there's just so much crap. And then the towns where they put these data centers in, they're contaminating the water, their fucking hydro bills are shooting up through the roof, and they're not getting a piece of the AI business. They're just getting to absorb all the high costs. Like, they're getting fucked by it, but not getting the benefit. So it's like, if you're in a town that's getting an AI data center and you got a chance to vote against it, vote against it. They do no good. Fucking long ass light here. But, the other thing with AI, it's just like, you got like people using chat GPT to get through fucking med school, and then you got these doctors that aren't even qualified to help you because all they did was use chat GPT and party the whole time through college. And then you're like looking at the doctor, hey, what's wrong with me? And he's in the back office looking up chat GPT answers for you because he doesn't know shit. There used to be a doctor had to like actually be somewhat smart. Now any asshole can be a doctor now. Or a lawyer or whatever. Well, maybe not a lawyer because you gotta actually do shit in court, but I mean a surgeon obviously. ChatGPT ain't gonna help him, but you still gotta have the skills there. But that's another thing, AI is just like stealing people's jobs. So people are losing their jobs, they're losing their livelihoods, creators are getting basically ripped off by AI using their content to create AI shit. The data centers are destroying the environment and ruining people's hydro bills. So it's like, where's the benefit of AI, you know? And then add to all of that, all your computer parts are going up in price because of AI. So it's just like, fuck AI, let's get rid of it. And plus, I've seen enough Terminator movies to know where AI ends. It ends with us fucked. Or if you're a Star Trek guy, it's the Borg Collective. We all become slaves to the fucking machine or something. That's probably all I got to say about AI, I think. I mean, the short version, it sucks. Fuck it. Now we're down by the Parliament buildings. In downtown Victoria. Be able to see them pretty good there if this truck ever moves his ass. There you go. I still see the red light, so my camera never turned itself off yet, so that's a good sign. To be fair to GoPro, that's only happened once to me so far. But I haven't had the camera that long, only like a couple weeks. I mean, prior to the GoPro, I just made shit on my phone. And that was like a few years ago. Like I'd shove a phone in my pocket or something, get some crappy view and ride. GoPro's much better for that. I am kind of wondering if I should have got a DJI camera instead, though. I mean, overall, I like the GoPro, but at the same time, I can only hook up one microphone to it unless I buy some extra shit. So when I bring my daughter Luna on me with rides, I gotta kind of stick the mic on my shoulder and turn my head to talk so that it picks us both up. But I would rather like have a mic on her and a mic on me. It'd be just easier, right? But the problem is you can only have one mic Bluetoothed in. So. And I've heard like with a DJI camera, they got their own like built-in receiver, so you could have multiple mics, no problem. And I'm already using their microphone anyway with my Hero 13, which does work pretty well. I'm very happy with the microphone. But the other negative I gotta say about the GoPros is, like in the daytime, they're awesome. They got a nice, kind of wide shot there. It's pretty good and whatnot. But if you try to film at night, it's hard to see shit. It's just too dark. Like the first video I ever did with this camera, I was on my scooter at night and I went out to Hatley Castle, and that video was kind of a disaster, but I posted it anyway because I put the mic on the handlebars with a magnet. Oh, there's a punch buggy, black one. And so it didn't pick me up very good. It was like, it picked me up fine, it's just it was too quiet. It was low and there was some like noise from the bike, or the scooter I mean. So it ended up being a bit of an issue. But the main thing was like the GoPro, like at night, it was like Silent Hill view. Like, all you could see was like where my headlights were and nothing else around them. Like even my phone at night is awesome, but I don't have a way of really mounting my phone to the bike. I suppose I could get one, but yeah. But I've heard like a DJI camera will be much better in lower lights. So. In the future, I may pick up one of those anyways and just still use the GoPro in the day, and then if I do some night shooting again, I'll use the other camera. But I gotta save up a little money first before I get another camera. That'll be in a few months or something probably. Because I have a expensive ass concert to go to this year, or this month's coming out. The kicker is it's a band I don't even care that much about it, but my daughter likes it a lot, so I'm basically going because she wanted it. But boy, was it expensive. I'm already in the hole $1,000 on this concert. Just from the airfare tickets, because we have to get there so early. And then the other tickets, because she wanted all this VIP shit. So that ended up being like $600. And then like, because of the World Cup coming at the same time as the show, like hotel prices are nuts. So we're not going to do a hotel that night. We're just going to fly in. We got like a 2 o'clock flight, so we'll be flying in there, and then we'll go see our show and sit in Denny's for most of the night and eat after. We've got a big truck or something here. And then we'll bus out to the first ferry at 7. I would have flew back, but the flights don't start flying until noon, and I don't want to be awake that long. Boy, this is bumpy as fuck here. But anyway, it's worth it, I guess, but I ain't doing it again. That I'll say. But lost my train of thought there. Well, we're coming up near the ocean. Almost had to whip out that 350 and look for the Loch Ness Monster. Which reminds me, I already have a title. I'll have to go through here and I'll show you some shit in here first. Here's where the helicopter takes off, and you see some cruise ships parked here sometimes. I think there's one there. I'll see if the helicopter's sitting here or not. A helijet they call it, but it's just a helicopter, let's be honest. Oh yeah, there we go. There it is. That's what the helijet looks like. All right. Oh, there's another punch buggy, silver one. So if you're playing the game, seeing a lot of those today. And then over there behind the building, you can see a cruise ship sticking out, but it's not very visible. So how do we get out of here? Oh, I think I made a. Let's go through here. Just see if we can squeeze through there a little bit. Oh, I see a spot we can get out over here. Perfect. Gift shop there. Let's follow this around. I forget where this goes. It's been a minute since I've been here. I usually just go by here. I never go through it. There's like a pier as well. You can like a causeway. It's like a break wall. That's what it's called. You can go out there, but they don't like it when you go in there with a bike. So I usually only go there if it's like early in the morning or something, like before all the people get there. Otherwise, I can get the street from over there. Maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. You'd go. I had some other topics I was going to bring up too. I'll have to think about them while we're doing our Loch Ness Monster search. Sometimes if you're real lucky, you'll see whales over here. But well, they never seem to pop up when I'm here. But one day I might get lucky. I don't see anything today, so there's a bit of a view there for you. A boat or something there. So we are by the ocean. It's one nice thing about like living kind of close to the ocean. I say kind of close because I don't really live that close to the ocean, but I can get to it. On a hot day like this, the breeze you get off the ocean is so nice. Like it's very cool. I gotta look out up here. Gotta find a good spot to do our Loch Ness Monster bit. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, the show South Park, if you're a South Park fan, you'll know right away. They had Chef's parents on one of the early seasons. And his dad would always be like telling these Loch Ness Monster stories, or how Loch Ness Monster was always trying to get $3.50 from him. So like he'd say, Girl Scout came and she said, you want to buy some cookies? And I said, sure, what kind of cookies you got? She telling me about the different kinds of cookies. I'm doing the impression now. And she said, how many do you want? I said, a couple. How much do you need? And she, I need about $3.50. And it was about that time I looked at her and I realized she was a giant 2-story tall Loch Ness Monster. And I said, I'll give you no $3.50. Just go away. And then like the wife would point it, I gave him $1. And he's like, you can't give her $1. He'll just come back for more. And I'm sure I butchered that, but that's basically the bit there. So we're kind of doing that. I'm not going to do his voice when I do it, because I was just doing that for the South Park thing. I mean, I suppose I could do the voice maybe. Here's a little pond there. Sometimes people will race like little electric boats and things. And then there'll be like ducks and birds and whatnot hanging out. So that's that. But that's the South Park Loch Ness Monster thing that we'll be doing today. On the back. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to get into was the game DC Universe Online. I talked a bit about it in my other vlog, but I want to talk more now about something different, and that's leagues. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that you don't really need a league. There's really not much of a benefit to them. Like, I mean, aside from like you'll get the league bonuses, but they don't add like really anything major. You might get like slightly more damage being in the league because of the bonuses, but not enough to really be of any significance. And then generally what winds up happening is when you got to do stuff like your dailies and things, everyone's miraculously busy or not logged in. And then you end up helping everybody else with their dailies. Sometimes you wind up doing your dailies like 4 or 5 times because you start helping people out. But when you first start, they're all busy. And it's hard to get groups sometimes these leagues. Like if you are lucky enough to find like a real good league where you got like tight-knit players that all play at the same time as you and you all run shit together, I mean, good for you, congratulations, you did it. But most of the time when it comes to getting in a league, you wind up with like a few types of leagues. You'll get one that's like, they'll call themselves the feet hunting league, but the leader will be like just a fucking tyrant. Like years ago, I was in this other league, it was like, I'll name them. It was called Destined for Greatness. And initially, I didn't even join that league. I joined their other league, which was the New Justice League at the time. And then they decided everybody should move over to this other one, so they kind of had us move all to this Destined for Greatness, where this Miss Hex was a leader. And what a tyrant. Like, just always yelling at people. And they would have these, like, weekly discussions where, like, once a week, you'd have to line up, sit in league hall, while her and her 2020 would fucking scream at you over bullshit. Like everybody, and they'd start, you have to help more, do this, and blah, 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 and it was just like, basically they were just power tripping. And then like if you were in the middle of something, and they decided they wanted you to fucking, join their raid or whatever, they needed you for something, you were expected to just drop everything and come running. For example, this is like way back, it was like 5 years ago. But I was doing patchwork bounties at the time, and I got in a really good phase where there was lots of people doing them, and at the time it was hard to get in those phases. You had to do like 100 of these fucking bounties, right? So I was working on that, and then I got sucked away to go in some bullshit fucking low-level raid because some new player needed help with it, and I had to drop everything to fucking go to this. And then by the time we were done that, I could never get back in the good phase again, so I was basically fucked for the day and lost it all. And I was always like trying to be like a helpful league guy back then. So I helped a lot of people like with skill points, hunting and feats and this, that, and the other thing. And some of them I would buy them like shit on the broker and stuff, which I won't do again. And I was in that league for probably a good like year or two. Something like that. Maybe it was a year. And then it's just, I got fed up. Like I was watching her just be a tyrant to people, like kicking people for like stupid reasons. Like, oh, you don't have membership, get out. Like, oh, you didn't come running when we called you immediately, get out. Like just awful shit. And eventually got around to me. I got kicked out because I wanted to do there was a new raid coming up and I was trying to get a father box. And they wanted to do the fucking, was it the casual version or whatever they called it back then. But that would have meant I would get loot locked on my raid, so I couldn't get my rewards properly. I had to go do this other thing. And all I asked is, can we just do the other one first? I don't want to be loot locked. I don't care about doing the casual version after, because I'll already have got my loot from that, and I'll run it again for no loot. I don't care. It's fine. I just don't want to get loot locked on the good loot. Pretty reasonable request, right? No. That was too much for them. Her fucking response, I don't want to hear about loot lock. And it's just like, fuck you, lady. And even after that, I still stayed in the league for a while until we were in this other raid where it was just failing over and over again. And I just realized, like, we aren't going to pass it. So I said, you know, with the current configuration we're running right now, this raid's not going to happen. There was just too many people that didn't have enough skill points to get through it or whatever, and people were under geared, and I was tired of it. Was on like the 9th time, right? So all I said that, and then suddenly I'm going against the league, and it's all this other crap. So finally I'm like, you know what? Fuck this, and I quit. And then she fucking begs me to come back to the league. So stupid me, I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'll come back to the league. And then like a week later, booted out again. For like, because they didn't come running fast, and I don't even remember the reason. It was something stupid. So anyways, that was that league. And then I stopped being in leagues for the longest time. I was just running solo for a while. I searched for some other leagues, but most of the time what would happen is you'd join a league and there'd be like 4 or 5 people or something in there. You'd say, oh, we're building up, or it'd be dead. There'd never be anybody on when you're on. And I tend to play late at night too a lot of times. So like, but yeah, lost my train of thought again. But generally, like there's those leagues where there'll be nobody on. So then you're like running everything solo anyway, and then it's just like, well, what am I in this league for? I'm running everything by myself. And then other times you'll log in, you'll be like, oh shit, I got like 30 minutes to play and do my dailies real quick, and then suddenly that's when everybody needs you. But like the last league I was in, I don't actually really have anything bad to say about that league. I was in OP status. And honestly, I liked that league. Like when I first joined that league, it had lots of people in. There was tons of people talking. And this leader had like a mic rule where you have your mic running, which I liked. I thought it was great. I liked the leader, NGT Assassin. I think he was a great guy. I still do. But it got to a point where like there's nobody on. So I would log in, it'd just be just me, or there'd be 1 or 2 other people. They're not saying nothing. So it was like, I started going, what am I here for? I got my own league hall I could be working on right now. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go work on my solo league and be a solo player again. And plus, he like started working against me, so he's not on as much anymore. But as far as that league goes, I really don't have anything bad to say about it. I think they're fine. Could use a little more, what's that there? That's either a whale or a person swimming. I see people swim. Who the hell would swim in that? It's not me. Gonna go over here. But yeah, so I basically I left that league like not long ago, but that one I feel like I left on fine terms. Like I would probably go back in a few months or something if it picks up again, or because what I'm mainly doing at the moment is just trying to get like statues in my own personal league hall where I keep my alts. But, trying to figure out what that is over there. Maybe that's an Octopus Monster. Which reminds me, we're going to take a break from talking about leagues. That's all I really got to say about leagues anyways. I mean, generally it's just being a solo player for the most part. You're going to be doing that anyway when you're in a league, so it's almost better to just be a solo player. But, I'll line up my 350 for this shot here. I'll do the phone version as well for shorts. We're going to do a simulcast, if that makes any sense. Turn this on for a sec so I can... Okay. Is that in the shot? Yep. So, we are looking for the Loch Ness Monster. I got 350 right here. So, come on, Loch Ness. Come get the money. I got 350. There we go. Shit, I wasn't recording on my phone. I guess I got to do that again. Well, I mean, I could clip it out of here, but now we'll do it on the phone. So just ignore this part, I guess. Hello, Loch Ness Monster. I got 350. Come get it. There we go. I might have to do that a third time. Did I actually get it? Oh no, I did. Okay, there we go. And we'll be calling this one the Vlog Ness Monster, because I thought that's pretty funny. And you got a good view of there, even though you had to even do that twice. But I had it set up to do it once, but then I forgot to hit record on the phone. Oh well. Anyways, here we go. Let's continue our ride. Most of the stuff I have to say about DC Universe Online, I covered in my DC video. So we don't need to talk about that anymore. Here we go. But for now, we're going to take a little tour through the graveyard here. She's going to walk right in front of me, I guess. That's okay. There we go. The funny thing about Canada is we're very apologetic. It's a manners thing. This is the Ross Bay Cemetery. I've gone through here before. One of the other vlogs. Might see some deer again, might not. We'll see. I'm just gonna kind of move through here. Oh yeah, there's a deer over there. I don't know how well the GoPro will pick it up, but see over you barely see his head sticking out. You might see him. I don't know. Closer one there. People taking photos. There's a bunch of people up here. Might actually be a funeral going on. I don't know. Let's see if we can sneak by them here. Just go this way, I guess. There we go. I could do a review on my bike, but I think I'll save that for another day. I'll do just a short video for that one. I've had this bike for maybe a year or something, like a year or two. It's been really good. Like, that's all I really need to say about it right now. It's been a good bike, what can I say? I will say, if you ride a bike, there's this stuff called flat out. Put that in your tires. You'll never get a flat tire ever again. This stuff is incredible. I have that in both tires of this bike. I've never had a flat tire since I put that in. I'll show you the famous angel statue where most metal bands take their photos. Right here. There you go. Is that thing leaning forward? There we go. What kind of angle we got? Well, yeah, there you go. That's that. Sometimes there's deer hanging out this part, but not today. I guess they're over there now. We gotta look at them when we go this way, probably. Like an urn on top of that one. Never actually seen that before. Oh, here's some deer. One right there. Right there. Some more here. Another one over there. Just chilling. Got a crow there or a raven, one of the two. There's a way you can tell the difference. I just can't remember what it is. Like they caw differently or something. And I think the ravens live longer than the crows. And I think the ravens are bigger too, but I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. Most likely it was probably just a crow. Which I like crows anyway. They're one of my favorite birds. Oh, that's the wrong way. Little detour there. There we go. Oh, lizard. I don't think I've ever seen lizards at the graveyard before. That's kind of a new development. This way. Actually, carnivore diet is something I should get into as well. It's sort of funny how I found that. Like, I was watching, you know the show Super Size Me, right? Where the guy eats McDonald's for 30 days and like his health goes to shit or whatever. And then it kind of turned out later on that his health went to shit because the guy was drunk the whole time. Had nothing to do with the McDonald's. Anyway, there was this other guy who was like, he did another like his own documentary thing, like kind of on that, where he ate McDonald's for 30 days and lost weight. I wish I could remember the name of the documentary. I forgot it, but in that one, right, he was just like calorie counting and shit. And at the end of it, he kind of talked about how he did another 30 days where he didn't have buns and things. He just had like the meat part, and he did like a low carb kind of thing. And got even better results. And so I heard that and I started looking up this low carb stuff on YouTube. And then that led me down a rabbit hole where I found this carnivore diet thing. Which a lot of people say is like the Atkins diet, but there's kind of differences. So it's not quite that, but anyway, carnivore diet is like you're eating meat and all that. And but the thing about the carnivore community is there's some gatekeepers in there. There's some purists like where like, you can't eat this or that, and they're like really strict. And then there's like the weirdos that eat raw meat, which I don't get those people, but me, I kind of just eased into it, like. But I used to be like a lot heavier than I am now. Like I'm pretty thin now, actually. I still got a bit of a gut, but not a huge one like I used to have. So carnivore has been pretty good for me. And I say carnivore loosely because I've kind of added a few carbs here and there back in. But I'm not super strict on it. I would probably say I'm more ketovore than carnivore. Because I will have the odd vegetable. But not very often. Like for the bulk of it, what I mainly eat is I'll get like 2 burger patties, and then I'll have like 4 eggs or 5 eggs with that, and then that's like what I'll eat. And then like at work I might have like beef jerky or something, or if you can get those hard-boiled egg packets that we get sometimes, I'll get those, but we don't seem to get those anymore. So generally, I'll have like pepperoni or beef jerky, at work, or I'll just fast and just eat once a day. Like I do that too sometimes for a lot of it. On the weekends when I'm not at work, I tend to just have one meal a day or two. But sometimes I'll go out and I'll get like Mary Brown's chicken or something, or I might get Chinese food and I'll get like chicken. I tend to stay away from like rice and pastas and things for the most part. It's very rare that I have any kind of pasta unless I find like a lower carb one. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is pasta. It's only got like 20 carbs for its one meal, so I'll have that for the one meal. Like I'll get like a sidekick thing or something, mix it with some hamburger, which is pretty good. But again, that's something I every couple months I might have that. Sometimes I'll just cheat and have a milkshake at a restaurant. But again, don't do that very often either. For the most part, I'm pretty strict on it. Sometimes I'll make stir fries with like onions or peppers or something. Or I'll do beef and broccoli. And then the one thing that I still have, I never gave up coffee and tea. But I only get the stash tea because they don't use the microplastics and shit. It's one of the few teas that doesn't have any microplastics. So I'll get the stash Earl Grey is what I usually have. And might as well go through Beacon Hill Park. Why not? But I still have like cream in my coffee and tea. But what I'll do is I'll buy the 18% cream because it's only got like one carb in it or whatever. There's no milk sugar. Like I don't ever do like 2% milk anymore. Oh, this is fucking tight. There we go. Like I used to have milk and cereal all the time and oatmeal and shit, and I don't eat any of that anymore. There we go. There's some peacocks. But yeah, like I will sometimes I'll buy like some sliced cheddar or something, and I'll stick that on my burgers. And sometimes I'll get some like lower carb buns when I can find them. Which I'll have like a couple cheeseburgers and a side of eggs. Or sometimes I'll just put eggs on the cheeseburger. I'll make like a bacon, egg, and cheeseburger. And then for condiments, I'll usually just put mustard on. That's it. If I go to a restaurant, I just take the burger however they make it. I don't want to be that annoying customer that, oh, I need this a certain way and that and that. However the burgers comes, I'll get it that way. But generally, I don't go out to restaurants a lot because they're getting too expensive. They want like ridiculous tips, which I'll always tip 20%. You want any more than that, go fuck yourself. Because tipping culture is insane. It's one of those horse carriage things. Which I actually don't like those because the horses get treated poorly. So I'm not really a fan of them. But, there's some more birds over there and geese and stuff. This is Beacon Hill Park. It's a pretty cool place. But anyways, it's been good for me, like for the carnivore. I pretty much just have like, my coffee. I have tea at work, and I put liquid stevia in it, and then a bit of cream. At work, I use the 10% cream because that's just what's there, so I don't really have much of a choice. And then at home, I get the 18%. And I'll make my own iced coffee where I just basically pour a pot of coffee into a jug, and then I add some cream to it, and I add some stevia, I put it in the fridge, and it's fantastic. And it's way healthier than any of the shit you buy. It's convenient too, because I can just wake up, open the fridge, grab an iced coffee. And a peacock there. But guess we'll go. We have to turn here. Yeah, so. But that's kind of like my little vice thing. I also don't smoke or drink or anything. I don't do any drugs. And a lot of my other like friends who are like in their 50s and shit, they all like gray hair, old looking, fat, most of them. Me, thin, don't have any gray hair yet. I'm actually quite healthy for my age. I bike a lot too though, so I am getting my exercise in there. So I do that. I'll do like little squat things or whatever once in a while. I don't exercise like a ton, like mostly bike riding is what I mostly do. I'll do a little bit of the odd exercises here and there when I'm at work or something. But generally, yeah. But for the most part, what I mainly eat will be like chicken, bacon, usually the instant bacon. That's because I don't want to fucking deal with cooking the other bacon. It's too much of a hassle. I will get the other bacon sometimes to make it, but what's over here? I think we can cross here and get back on the trail. Hopefully we don't get hit by a car. There we go. Back on the trail going this way. Man, like some people, they're like, all they eat is steak. That's it. Me, I don't do that. For one, I can't afford to have steak every day. That's just too expensive. And for two, when on the rare occasions when I do get steak, I'm kind of a shitty cook, so it never comes out well. I either undercook it or I burn it. So it'll either be cooked too much or not cooked enough. Can never seem to get it right. So I tend to not buy steak. I stick with usually like frozen burger patties. I'll usually get the Angus burgers because they taste good. And then I'll do like burgers, and not always with a bun. Sometimes it's just 2 burger patties with salt on it. And salt's good because they're electrolytes. So it's good to put extra salt in your food, contrary to what some people will tell you. But I'll generally have that with eggs, and I usually just fry the eggs up or I scramble them or whatever. I've tried making like carnivore buns, like chaffles and stuff, where you make them in a waffle maker with like egg and cheese and shit. But I always find those come out too like moist or something. They never come out right. So when I want to do like burgers, I'll just buy buns. You know, I'll get like the lowest carb ones I can find. Like if it's got 20 carbs or even 25, it's like okay, it's acceptable. And then there's other ones. I'll have like 45, 50 carbs. Those I won't buy those. And then sometimes I'll have like blueberry Greek yogurt, which is not bad. It's like a treat. But even that, once a week I might have that. And I do a lot of OMAD where I'll eat once a day and that's it. Never more than twice a day. Like But yeah, it's been like I was only going to just try it out for like a month to see how it was with the carnivore thing, but it's worked so well for me that it's like, you know what, I'm going to stick with it. And I do think that if you are trying to do like a carnivore lifestyle, every once in a while, it's okay to cheat, you know? Because if you're trying to be too strict all the time, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to fall off the fucking wagon. You're going to wind up just bailing on carnivore altogether. So I find, you cheat once in a while, it's easier to stick with it. If that makes any sense. So generally, yeah, don't beat yourself up if you have a fucking ice cream cone once or something. I mean, I'll go to Dairy Queen in the summertime sometimes. I'll get a peanut butter parfait. And then on a day when I do that, I'll do a fast. I'll do a 24-hour fast again. I want to sort of cancel it out. And then I'll go strict for a little while. I'll just have like the meat and eggs, and that's it. So I never feel guilty about having a little cheat here and there. But doing that every now and then, and keeping my coffee and shit, it's been great. It's kept me on it for almost 2 years. I think August will be 2 years of doing the carnivore lifestyle. Like I was in some carnivore groups there for a while, but there's too many assholes in those. My God, you tell somebody you drink tea or coffee, and then they're like, "You're not carnivore." These fucking like purists, they treat it like it's a religion or something. It's like, come on, it's just food, calm down. Have a piece of lettuce once in a while, it ain't gonna kill you. But generally, if I have any kind of vegetables, I stick with like, lower carb things. I generally stay away from potatoes too. But try to get some exercise. I recommend biking. I think it's great exercise. Even an e-bike, just pedal it when you're e-biking. Don't go too much on the pedal assist. Use it for the hills. Use it on like a lower pedal assist. Like I got on 2, and then I got the gears at like 4, so I'm getting some decent exercise pedaling this while I'm filming this here. And then I go like really far a lot of times. It's just more fun to ride an e-bike, what can I tell you? But that's pretty much my take on carnivore diet. It's been great. What can I tell you? I'll probably never be the strict person. Oh, one thing I should add is I do take a vitamin C pill every day because, I probably don't have to, but just for my own peace of mind, I do. Like a lot of people say you don't really need it, but I feel like, what's the harm? Like maybe if I was like really, really strict carnivore, I wouldn't need any vitamin C, but I feel like because I will sometimes cheat here and there, and I still have coffee and tea and things, I think it's probably a good idea to still take the vitamin C. That's the only thing I take though, just vitamin C pill when I wake up. And then I do, my meat and eggs. Oh, there's a black punch buggy again. I suppose that counts. back down this way. This is our Vlog Ness Monster Run. This is James Bay area that we're in now. Belleville. But generally, yeah, like with carnivore, you know, just ignore the gatekeepers and, you know, go in some Facebook groups or watch some YouTube videos. You will get some good advice. You just gotta leave the purists to their own devices. Kind of like, don't let them, jeez, don't let them discourage you. Yep, we're good. Going back by the Parliament buildings. It's a good guy to probably follow, like on YouTube if you want to get good info. Like, there's Dr. Ken Berry. He's pretty good. Seems to know his shit. There's Kent Carnivore. He's got a lot of good info. He was a guy that he's got a colostomy bag because he was like a vegan or something, and it fucked up so much that he lost his colon. And then he went carnivore, and now he just kind of talks about that a lot. He has some pretty good info. There's a few other ones too that I can't think of right now, but I sort of watch some of their stuff. We missed the light. Oh well. I guess we're stuck here. Well, you know what we'll do then? Let's wait for light. I could go to the crosswalk, but I'm thinking like maybe the turn one will go and I'll get a chance to. We'll see what happens. Cloppity cloppity. Yeah, there we go. There's like the really touristy area. This hotel here on our right, that's the Empress. It's supposed to be haunted. I can't actually confirm that, but that's the story about it anyway. But yeah, it's tourist time. Like a little tourist station there. Clock. Wharf. Hmm? Hmm? Mm-hmm. Here we go. She was talking to me or anything. The light didn't change. What the fuck? Oh, there it goes. I thought I missed the sensor or something. But, here we are. Down there is the float plane we'll be taking to our concert. Takes off on the water and lands in water in Vancouver. Like 35-minute flight. That seems like everything, like music, diets, like whatever thing you're like into. There always seems to be gatekeepers. You know, they want to just push everyone out. Like even Linux has their gatekeepers. Metal, which I've been listening to metal forever, but even there's gatekeepers there. They'll see you wearing like a metal shirt. They start giving you quizzes and shit. And it's like, fuck off, man. But there's a lot of great people in the metal community too. Like you'd be listening to metal and like 50 recommendations. Check this band out. Check that band out. Oh, I like my helmet, I guess. Here we go. Yes, Victoria Holland, the slowest lights ever. There we go. Looking forward to getting the fuck out of downtown. And I took you on the nice part of downtown. If we went up Pandora, I could show you some horrible parts of downtown, but we're not going to do that today. There we go. There's a tiny little bike. Some water taxis down there. I forget what that was on. Like a boat repair place over here. They build them, fix them. But I just enjoy the ride for now. I'm trying to remember what else I was going to talk about. In the meantime, yeah, enjoy the view. I'll be clipping these out for shorter videos for you anyways, if you want to just get to that stuff. So, this video is for the people that want to just like watch the whole ride kind of thing. Sometimes I go back and watch the whole ride. They're interesting to me. I'll have to do a review on my scooter at some point too. I think it's at about 850 kilometers on that. I'm debating if I'm going to do one soon or wait till it gets to 1,000. But it's like, I don't know, the weather's kind of nice. It's a good time to do a review of it. Maybe we'll take the little side path here by the water. You'll see what I mean in a second. There's a turn off where you can go here and make it a little bit different for the ride back instead of just going the same way. We might veer off into some other fun places too. Haven't decided yet. Turn should be over here somewhere. That looks about right. Yeah, through here. There's a fun little path to take. Got some loose gravel there. Where that tree come I saw there in the palm. There we go. To a dock, okay. Unser Road. But on a side note, like I wouldn't expect to see too many bike or scooter reviews on this channel, because I really just review my own shit that I buy. That's it. I'm not interested in becoming a review channel. I'll review them just, you know, if somebody else wants the ones I got. But. So if you're planning on sending me scooters or bikes to review, don't. I'm just not gonna do it. Me, I just like to do my rides and record them. That's it. Like this, what I'm doing right now, this is like the most fun thing for me to do. I love this. Like, you have no idea how much I love doing this shit. Just riding a bike. It's like become my favorite thing to do in life. We got ourselves a detour. There we go. I'm just gonna do this little thing here. There we go. It's an easy way to get over these without having to slow down when you're on a bike. And that's it there. I'm not sure how I would demonstrate that. You just stand up and kind of let the bike sort of go over it. It works quite well. Uganda Avenue. Isn't that the country where the Black Panther comes from? In the Marvel movies, or am I just remembering that wrong? I'm probably remembering that wrong. But I saw a guide, I just started thinking of the movie Black Panther, which I thought was a pretty good movie. I don't know about the new one. I didn't see the new one, but like the first one they did there, that one was good. We're on Till I Come Road. It's Tillicum, but I always call it Till I Come Road. What's happening here? Oh, an ambulance. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. Right here. We're gonna park here. We're gonna do. We're gonna go on the sidewalk briefly. But there's this cool little path we can take. You should like this. Over here, there's like a little mini waterfall. There's not much going on with it now. There we go. There we go. But there's a little fun little path here. Gives you a pretty good view. Got that nice little bike ramp there for us. Some good water view there. See that little part, I'll zoom in over here. Yeah, right there where the water looks a little rough, that's supposed to be like a waterfall, but not right now. It just kind of looks like not much. That's an interesting part of the water there. We shall continue on. Let's go this way. It's not very deep water. It's not near here. It doesn't look very deep. I think it connects to the ocean. I can't remember. I think we can go this way. Yeah. Little bumpy in spots there. Morning. Oof. She looked at me like I was a devil. Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about now. Growing up, Generation X. What that was like for those who don't know. As soon as I'm done being lost here. There we go. Is it this way or that way? Let me see. I think we can go here. Alright. But yeah, like Gen X. Like, we're like the forgotten generation. You know, whatever, I'm fine with that. I don't care that much. Most Gen X don't. It's just how we were. But people will ask me sometimes, wait, which way do I go here? To go back this way, I guess. But they'll say, like, what, like, the stuff you hear, is it really true? Like, you drank from the hose, and you stayed out all day, and you were alone all the time as kids. And yeah, that's exactly right. Like, how we were portrayed in movies. And you ever see, like, movies from that time where, like, the kids are out on their BMX going, doing all this crazy shit. That's what we did. We left the house, we never went back in. And the only reason we didn't want to go back in and why we drank from the hose and all that shit is because if you went in the house to get something, your parents would make you do chores. So it was just easier to just stay out. So you just go out, you hook up with your friends, you hop on your BMX bike, and off you go. And we go out to the fucking woods everywhere. And we'd just be gone all day, and we're like 7 and shit. Hell, when I was 7, I was babysitting my newborn brother. Our boomer parents didn't give a fuck about it. They were like, go outside, come back when the lights are on. I mean, even then, like, when I was like 10 and shit, or 9 or whatever, pretty young, like 8 or 9, 10. My bedroom was in like the basement part of the house, so I would just open up my window, I'd sneak out, and I'd go to my other friend's house, and he'd sneak out too, and we'd go fucking run around all bloody night. Our favorite game to play used to be like Dodge the Cars, where you'd see a car, you'd go hide in the bushes or something. Another game we used to play when we were like 12 or 13 is you'd see a cop, and then you would look at him, make sure he saw you, and then you would run and get them to chase you. And eventually, you know, they'd catch you or they wouldn't. And then when they catch you, they'd be like, why'd you run? To see if you chased me. Like, that's the kind of shit we did, right? Because, you know, we didn't have cell phones, so we didn't have no phones to play on. We had the first Nintendo and like in television and shit. Sometimes your other friend might have Atari, so we just go to each other's houses and play on the different systems. Because I had like one friend had a Sega Genesis, and I had like Nintendo, and another friend with like Super Nintendo down later on, and another friend had Atari, ColecoVision. So we had a Commodore. We'd be able to run all that shit. So that was our gaming, but for the most part, we'd go outside and just we're on the bikes all the time, or we get like multi-pump pellet guns and shoot at each other. The only rule being you can't pump it more than once. No shooting in the face. And I'm sure some people are hearing this right now going, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Well, now you know. Well, we got so much trauma. Our movies were like, they didn't give a fuck you were a kid. It was fucking just traumatizing shit that we shouldn't see. We didn't care. We watched it anyway. I remember watching like Freddy Krueger movies when I was like 12 or something. 10. When did those come out? 83 or something? I think it was like 11 or something. And we're watching, we're all fans of Freddy. We're sitting there at home taking the steak knives and making our own Freddy gloves. Taping them to some garden glove. Your mom's like, have all the steak knives. Well, never mind. Or we need butter knives, whatever. Whatever was around. What am I on? I see you cut me off. Asshole. The Admirals. Oh, by the crappy tire. Okay. Oh, I could have went that way. Whoops. That's okay. We've only gone 30 kilometers so far. Well, 29.9. It's going to change to 30 any second. But I mean, that's like Gen X childhood. That's what it was. It was just, you just went out. You hung out with any. There wasn't really any racism either. Like there was, but not with us kids because we didn't care. Like, we'd see another kid. We didn't give a shit what color you were. We hung out. Let's go fucking play. Right? I mean, I grew up in Canada too, so it might have been different. You know, maybe in the States it was more racist. I don't know. But I never really saw any racism until like 90s TV shows. Because I had like friends every bloody color in the world. You know? I had Asian friends, black friends, like all of it. We didn't care. As long as you were relatively cool as a kid, we'd hang out with you. We watched the Goonies. We're out fucking exploring bat caves and shit, literally. Like out in Medicine Hat at the time, I think it was. And you go out in the coulees, there'd be like these caves you go in, and we found a bat cave one time. We crawled in about 30 feet in this small little tunnel, and then there's a big room, and the other guys start shining a flashlight. Oh, there's a big room here, and they look up. Oh fuck, it's all bats. Get the fuck out of there. But we go all over the place. I was like 14 and 15. I used to jump on the box cars on the trains and just take them wherever they went and hitchhike back. Or sometimes catch a different train back if I was lucky. Like, sometimes I look back at some of the stuff it's a miracle most of us Gen X are even here, considering the crap we did. Not all of us made it, you know. But yeah, we were the first generation to get fucked over by the boomers. They took everything and left nothing for anybody. Fed us a bunch of bullshit lies. Yeah, go to school and get an education, do all this shit, and life will be good. And then we did all that, and life wasn't good. The biggest lie they ever told us was trickle-down economics. There ain't nothing trickling down. The only thing going down is shit, because shit rolls downhill. That's a lesson that I learned in life. Just fucked up time. It's just... Storm? I've never heard of that road. Yeah, right now I'm kind of just following this road and see where it goes. Which is another thing us Gen X kids used to do too. We get on our bike, we just go a direction. Nobody wore helmets either. Nobody wore padding. You see those photos of kids jumping over other kids on their bike? Yeah, we did that shit. That's all true. Road is this? Hell looking. It's like weed over here. I'll keep following this road, see where it goes. Fuck it. We're on an adventure. Hell, I saw the movie Back to the Future. I used to skateboard too when I was a kid. Next day, I'm out fucking grabbing onto the school bus and riding my skateboard attached to the school bus going up hills and shit. That whole don't try this at home shit, we tried it all at home. We watched like wrestling, we'd be fucking out fucking having our own matches in the backyard. Or we'd be doing like karate on each other. Kind of an RV park here. At some point I'll figure out where I am. Not right now though. Or we'll get incredibly lost. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I feel like at some point there'll be some road I recognize and I'll just turn up that. If not, I'll just go back. I mean, who knows? I might wind up in another town. Who knows? I think I still got 5 bars of battery because I'm mostly pedaling, right? So I'm not using much power. Just a little bit on the hills, really. But yeah, basically I'm an old Gen X metalhead. Started out with my mom. I used to just listen to whatever my mom had for records. So the first music I got exposed to was like Pat Benatar and Ozzy Osbourne, Led Zeppelin. 'Cause that's what she had, right? And then there was like Quiet Riot and fucking other whatnot stuff. And then I found Metallica in like 87 and big fan there. Oh, another trail here. And then after Metallica I found Slayer and then Overkill and Testament, Death Angel, Creator. Just all these great like thrashy bands. Oh, I think I might know where I am. Holy shit. Kinda. Yeah, if I go over here, I'll be on the other trail. Huh, how about that? Well, let's go back this way. But, and then like later like 90s I got into like Cannibal Corpse, like Eating Back to Life. That was the first record I heard of theirs. And then like the Bleeding and stuff. Still listening to Cannibal Corpse today. I probably like the Barnes era Cannibal Corpse the best. Nothing against the Fisher albums, I like those too. I think some of their best albums were those old ones with Barnes, like the Bleeding and Eating Back to Life and Tombs of the Mutilated, Butchered at Birth. Like, there's some awesome albums. And then like with Fisher, like I would probably say Wretched Spawn's probably my favorite that he did. Like that's just a fucking awesome album. And then there's Red Before Black, their newest one too. I'm blanking on the names. Like the newer albums, I find with nowadays I never remember titles anymore. I gotta look at my shit and oh yeah, because I don't listen to albums like the same way when I was like younger. Like when I was younger and I listened to an album, I'd have the fucking album art in my hand, fucking staring at the lyric sheet or whatever, and every little thing about it. And nowadays, new metal album, I just throw it on and play it. I don't even look at it. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's a really awesome song. What's that one called? I'll check and then I'll remember it for like 5 minutes and forget it. I guess that's the getting older part. But yeah, I can still remember like Metallica record songs, like just like that, like all the stuff that was, I never forget those titles. Yeah, Bolt Thrower was another band I got in later. Monomart, black metal stuff, just more extreme as life went on. Went through a Marilyn Manson phase for a while. I'll still listen to him once in a while. It's thinking about change. Anyway. There we go. The guy beside me had like a milk crate in the front of his bike, like strapped on. He had 2 poodles in it. Kind of funny. I do find though that with death metal especially, like everything after 1995 pretty much all sounds the same. I still like it, but I don't exclusively like it. If that makes any sense. I like it in small doses. Because every now and then I'm like, you know what, I want something really fucking heavy, and I'll listen to some death metal. But I do find like the stuff after 95, all the songs are just too much about speed and beats per minute. I call it math metal now. And they don't write quality songs like they used to. Like, give me Stripped, Rape, and Strangled again, that was a great song. Or Hammer Smash Face. Now a lot of it's just forgettable. What is this shit? I gotta stop now. Oh, more crap in construction.
Working on out there. Pardon me? Oh, okay. I'm gonna get these things around outside.
Forestry to look at. Well, here we sit. At least it's in the shade. We get to go. There we go. I'm gonna ride a little faster today at this point. We're at 34 kilometers so far. Riding at 30 kilometers an hour. So I was trying to figure out what they had us waiting for. I guess it was just that truck. Alright. I got these poor fucks waiting over here. Oh no, they just stopped. Okay. But it is definitely a gorgeous day out. Well, we're gonna have to Mario through this tunnel. I'll do this one too. Oh, that's what I call a Mario. I like doing them in tunnels because it echoes and makes it even louder. But I've mentioned Mario's before on other rides. Couldn't tell. Got a steep grade over here. Lizard. It's Lizard Walmart. This will eventually take us back to our starting point where we started our vlog. One of them bumpy bridges. Here, we'll go even faster because we're getting back now. It's doing 40 now. Why? Because we can, that's why. Wind going. dragonfly or something there. I think the camera got it. Won't know till later. We're in speed mode now. I'll do another vlog on my scooter eventually. If we get the right road conditions, we might do a 70 click run, speed run. That's the fastest I've ever had the scooter up to, was 71 kilometers, not miles. In miles, I think that's like, I don't know, 50 or 60 or something. I'd have to Google it and check. Here's the bike station we started the vlog at. That's packed full of people, so we're not stopping there. We are turning here. Heading up this way. Coming to the end of the vlog. So we hit 39.1 kilometers. Probably be 40 by the time I actually get home. Good length of a ride for the shorter ones. Might do a longer one tomorrow, or a second ride today. End our vlog here, and hope you enjoyed it. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, turn off. Oh, so that's how it is, huh? Alright. We'll have to do it manual.